guys, welcome back. This week I'm introducing you to our latest foster dog, Bubbles. She's a roughly 2-year-old pit bull that came from the county shelter, and I want to tell you more about her and what we're doing with her. Bubbles was in the shelter at the end of last year actually, and an amazing volunteer, Megan, had been keeping track of her and taking her out and things, but she really started to deteriorate. They put her on trazodone to try and calm her down, but ultimately decided that was no way for a dog to live. And so another amazing person, Lane from Freedom Brothers, got with Megan and they were able to pull her out, but she went into a boarding situation, which was better than the shelter, but still not what she needed in the sense of like decompressing and getting away from all the dogs. So she opened up really fast, but she still had timid tendencies, and so when she came down here, it was just amazing within 48 hours to see her personality really blossom. But with that came a lot of not so great behaviors. So Bubbles' signature move, as I would call it, is to run at you 9-0 and jump 5 feet straight in the air, like at your face. And she's trying to play, but obviously that's not what we want at all. That's not fun. And so I wanted to talk today about setting rules and boundaries for new dogs. So obviously there's a decompression period, and for a lot of dogs that can last up to 30 days. But that doesn't mean, in my opinion, that for those 30 days you're not doing anything with that dog or setting any sort of rule. Like, you're not doing them any favor. What it means to me is having your expectations where they need to be, understanding that that dog is still decompressing. So she's no longer allowed to jump. That's not saying she doesn't. I'm just saying that now I don't let it fly. I mean, I'm turning my back, I'm giving her a sharp no, or something like that, to really encourage her to stop doing that to people. But with that expectation being low, understanding that she is still decompressing, we've had her for not quite a week now, it's okay that she still jumps sometimes. She still gets really excited and wants to jump. But it's not okay to just throw all the rules out the window because of the situation that she came from, or that she's a shy, timid dog. We want to start bringing her out because our ultimate goal is to get her into another family. It's the same set of guidelines I use when it comes to playing with the other dogs or animals. She's still figuring out how to play appropriately, and so she has that typical pit bull bully style play where she's very in your face and very handsy, I guess, so to speak. And so that's where I come in, and I step in to make sure that it doesn't escalate to anything beyond a correction from mostly Rooster. Honestly, she leaves Rufus alone, and every once in a while gets a little bit too in the face with the cats, so I step in there. And these are the types of things that I'm saying. You can't just let them completely run the roost or run amok because they're still decompressing. It's just that that expectation needs to be there, that I need to be there to set those rules and boundaries and just slowly integrate them with her and be mindful of how she's reacting to those corrections. So every time Rooster corrects her or I correct her or anything like that, it's with mostly a noise for her. I've not really had to like physically touch her at all to snap her out of things because she is very responsive, super smart dog. But I'm making sure that it's not too much for her, and it's not. It's been like, oh, okay, I'm learning that that's not an okay thing to do. And so that's what brings me to my next point, is I'm trying to show her what is an appropriate thing to do. So for example, it's hard to see because she's a little bit out of frame here, but she's actually just sitting here nicely, getting treats. And this is the type of thing where I'm showing her, this is what I want from you. I don't want you jumping on me. I just want you gently taking treats. The other thing we do is everybody gets fed in the kennel while she's here. It's another, like, that's an expectation, that's a rule, that's a boundary that I set to keep everybody safe. And this is where, again, we get into feeling sorry for a dog that they came from a kennel and you don't want to put them back in the crate. But if that's what's best for the dog, you have to set your human feelings aside in order to do what's best for them. And so the things that I've been doing more slowly are things like our outings. We've been in my neighborhood walking around with the other dogs. But I haven't taken her out yet. I want her to feel more comfortable and then get her out with like Rufus, who's very comfortable in public and loves going out. She gets to run in the horse pasture because she's shown me that she's respectful of the horses. She listens well. She's not reactive to the other dogs on either side of the fence. Like, she just likes to get out there and have a good time. And so that's where she really is getting a lot of her exercise right now. It's the cutest thing in the world to see. I'm sure especially for her original kind of advocate, Megan, to see the shy dog that she could barely get out of the kennel sometimes, and at one point was the only person who could get her out, see her face light up as she just gets to sprint as fast as she possibly can around the yard. As our time together continues and she continues to decompress and get comfortable with the routine that we've set, that's when I'll start introducing more like formal training, so to speak, and doing actual mini sessions with her where I can have her focus and she can be calm and paying attention to what I'm asking her, because I really want to set her up for success. And that goes back to, it's okay to set rules, boundaries, limitations, and then give affection with dogs who come out of the shelter, or any dog that comes into your life for that matter. It's just, you can't set that expectation up here when the dog is starting way down here. You have to meet in the middle and find a common ground that makes you and the dog happy and really gets to the ultimate goal of, in our case, Bubbles finding a new home where she's not jumping all over everybody, she's not being mouthy, and she's learned a lot of skills. And so that will include proper leash walking as well as basic obedience as our time together goes on. And like I said, she gets more comfortable. Never hesitate to set those boundaries. You really look into your own intuition and what you feel the dog needs. She's not shut down by any means. Now, last year we had Rue, who was a much more scared dog. He still had rules, he still had boundaries. It's just that when you corrected him, you had to be very gentle about it so that you didn't make his fear of humans worse. And I'm happy to report that he is in a very loving home who absolutely adores him. And it's been almost a year and things are going great. So these are tools and tips and things that truly work for dogs and their people. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. And in the meantime, enjoy your pup and have a great week.